this game ends up going the distance here. Simply because... Welcome to Deadwing, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner as the yellow Zerg player representing team mYinsanity. It is Petraeus. His opponent spawning in the top left position as the blue player representing team Liquid.net. Score is currently tied up 2-all. Can he take the lead for the first time in this best of 9 series? It's Bunny. So pretty tense series between these two guys so far. Petraeus twice taking the lead and Bunny twice halving the deficit. Actually completely eliminating the deficit even to come back. And we now find the scores completely tied up at 2-2. Extremely excited to... see if Bunny can stop the streak here from Petraeus. He started off on $150, by the way. He then won 4 hot seats in a row. Now, each one of those carries a $75 increment in the prize money all the way up to $375, which is the current maximum. So he's now playing again for the maximum $375, and that's the bounty that we say Bunny can claim if he's able to defeat Petraeus in a best of 9. And if Bunny wins that, of course, he's then able to come back next week. He starts again at $150, but he plays every single week until he loses, and that money continues to build up and will continue to be his every week. So that's the idea behind the hot seat here, encouraging stronger and stronger players and baiting them with more and more money as an increasing bounty to see if they can defeat the incumbent here. And right now, Petraeus has done fantastically to date. But, well, he's at 2-all against Bunny, and anything can happen in the last couple of games. So he's now established that his opponent is going to be in cross positions by the looks of things. As you can see, the Overlords moving with intent towards where he reckons they'll be. Bunny hasn't even begun scouting yet, so he's not 100% certain himself. But both players just going for very, very macro-heavy builds right now. We can see the command center getting put down very early on for our Terran player. And we had a hatch first coming down for Petraeus, so we'll see if we see a third base. Of course, massive area to defend here in the natural expansion. A little bit annoying that the debris is there as well. There's also more debris here moving into the third base, but there is only the one fat ramp once again, so we might see him take that very soon. Especially if we see a more macro-heavy build come out of Bunny. And he's produced 2 Marines, by the way, so no Reapers on this map, not using them to scout, and then going straight for the reactor. And we should be seeing the Hellions come out again once more. And the main difference we're going to be seeing here, or rather the main decision we want to check out, is whether he's going for those Banshees once again, or if he's going to be moving straight into that medevac production. Those seem to be the 2 main variations in Bunny's early game builds against Petraeus so far this series. Part of this debris is now going to get taken down. I guess an easy access route, preventing medevacs from dropping units here and then dropping them back downstairs, making it very, very difficult. So killing this off will allow those early speedlings and whatnot to just move behind those enemy forces. And in the meantime, a single Zergling. I love this. A single Zergling at this third base, guys. You're right, he's not actually doing any scouting right now. But what he wants to do is see when Bunny is moving out with his forces, or potentially, if he doesn't move out with Marines first, when he's going to be landing a third base in this location. So I really like that. A single Marine actually just went out to scout, but he didn't quite see the Zergling. So cool little bit of play coming out of there from Petraeus. Meanwhile, we haven't got those Hellions out. We are going to be switching it up, ladies and gents. We have siege tanks. Wow. We have Wings of Liberty style coming out here, ladies. This is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to this. Marine, tank, medevac is going to be the order of the day. There is the single Marine chasing the Zergling away. And the third base has been put down. But the composition of this army, has it been revealed? Well, you can see the tech lab on that factory, but if he actually moves back now, he'll see that it's a barracks. So Petraeus might have a hint of a clue here, but I'm not 100% certain. And we have got Stim now being researched on the tech lab. Oh, it's going to be a drop. We have 3 Marines, an SCV, and a siege tank as a single medevac drop moving towards the base. Now, Petraeus will see the medevac coming, thanks to his control of the watchtower here. So it's not going to come as a surprise that a drop is incoming. But perhaps the fact that a siege tank is there will come as a surprise. And look at this. Petraeus knows that this is a really frustrating drop spot with the siege tank. Bunny spots this straight away and goes, oh dear, it looks like I've been found out. And all of a sudden, the plan for this game is becoming a little bit slower to implement. He's dropping the units on the low ground, but as soon as they pick up, I guarantee Petraeus is going to try and ambush this. Here come two Hellions, though. Are they going to be able to clean up the Zerglings? It looks like it, so a little bit delayed, but he is able to get there in the end. The siege tank is going to be in position to mess around with this mineral line by the looks of things. Zerglings coming in to try and pick off the tank. They won't be able to. It's only down to about 2/3 health, and these Hellions are actually going to cement Bunny's position. So Bunny's saying, okay, you've seen what I'm going to do, but I want to make sure I definitely take this position here. I'm going to send more forces down, and I'm just going to argue that the massive distance you're going to have to cover to attack my siege tank over here is a lot better for me than it is for you. So well played there by Bunny, using those Hellions as backup, not giving up on the attack, and now in a situation where he can siege up this third base location and prevent it from mining. We have a potential counterattack coming in from Petraeus here against the natural. A lot of supply depots and a bunker providing themselves as juicy targets here. There's not an awful lot back here to defend right now, and the Hellions will spot that this attack is incoming. These are only slow banelings, so we're going to need a lot of Zerglings to support this. The Hellions move back from behind the wall. Wow, that's a lot of banelings, and here we go, attacking the bunker now. Are we going to be seeing SCVs pulled? Yes, we are, but he needs to pull them back now. There are... oh god, there's a lot of carnage that could happen here. These two banelings, are there more incoming? Yes, there are. So we'll be keeping an eye on whether or not all of these workers are going to go down. So far, actually, the targeting has mainly killed off a Viking. That hasn't been too bad for Bunny. 5 workers killed to 0 so far. He's still not able to mine from the third base. That really didn't do as much damage as Petraeus wanted it to. Is Bunny going to be able to get the upper hand here in this game, repairing that last supply depot? I'd like to see the bunker rebuilt to force the use of a couple more banelings here. And we're going to be seeing a round 2 attack. A decent number of Zerglings, not the world's greatest amount, and a bunch of banelings as well. 1-1's about to complete too. Ooh, nice wraparound on the Zerglings. Are they going to be able to prevent the Marines from Stutter stepping back? They get pulled into medevacs, and here come the banelings once more. The Hellions going to try and make themselves into a wall, and these SCVs are looking pretty endangered here. A lot of them going down. Not the world's greatest amount going down, but there are Zerglings left over to mop this up. 15, 16 to 7 right now. And this siege tank, yes, okay, it's the most annoying unit in the game, but what's happening back home could end up being critical for Bunny now as more and more units come in. Number of workers, 50 to 30 in favor of the Zerg player right now. Yes, the third base is down, but no way is Bunny going to get to mine from that anytime soon. And look at this stream of units. I'm saying, well, guess what? Your siege tank that can do so much damage against my Zerglings and banelings, it's all the way over here. I don't see another tank over here, so I'm just going to keep attacking until you can convince me you can hold this off. And right now, with Hellions alone, he can't. They go, the Hellions, at the third base location. Bunny has units, but they're in medevacs right now, and we've got more banelings moving towards an actual expansion. Is this going to be Bunny's last stand? It looks like it. If these banelings get decent connections, he's in an awful lot of trouble. Moving into the main base as well. This natural expansion is almost forfeit at this rate. These Marines trying to make a brave stand, and here come the banelings into the mineral line. This is going to be pretty tense. Moving the SCVs out. Are they going to get out in time? Are there more banelings coming in? There aren't more banelings coming in, so if he runs away from this train, he's going to be able to save them. All right, what's the number of workers killed? 37 to 7. Has the damage already been done, though? 50 to 22 workers. This third base isn't operational. This one is. And I feel like Petraeus right now might be getting further and further and further ahead. Oh, very, very tense best of 9 series. Bunny has to stabilize here. I'm surprised he hasn't got a siege tank on the job, but then again, he hasn't had the factory in service for quite a while, and it's got a reactor on it. So a couple of siege tanks might have been able to help him prevent this back home. The only one he had was being used offensively. Maybe if he used the medevac to bring it back and help with the defense, I don't know, but he doesn't have time to think about that right now because he needs to defend with what he's got on the ground here. We have got Hellbats in support, and that's a pretty big deal, but he hasn't killed off the army. Petraeus wisely moved back. He's waiting for Bane Baneling speed to finish. 30 more Zerglings on the way. You think he's going to sit back and grab a 4th and 5th base? Well, maybe, but only after he absolutely tries and decimates this army. Slow Banelings, not a good idea to take that on against this army right now. He's moving them out. Baneling speed still about 10 seconds away from completion. More and more Zerglings coming in. We have a stim on the Marines to try and pick off the Banelings as they move out, but we have a secondary army here now. Are we going to see a wraparound and potentially engage this army from several directions at once? There's Baneling speed. You don't want to be overstimming those Marines. The Banelings might just move straight back and bite you where the sun don't shine, and here we go. Forcing all of those units into medevacs, and we have a counterattack coming out here from Petraeus. So Bunny, is he even able to keep up with the medevacs right now? He's dropping a couple of them, but he is removing units from the defense of his base, and this third base is looking incredibly difficult to mine from right now. 115 to 99 supply. Bunny's done a great job of continuing to get the supply back up here, but he's still on 33 workers versus 61 with Baneling speed. Excellent pre-splits on the Marines here, and most of the army is going down, though. It's being dropped outside. In the meantime, a lot of damage is being done. The mineral line is now being sieged up. A lot more Banelings now morphing in. Ooh, is that a little bit of an overextension maybe from Petraeus there? Because a lot of those Banelings are never going to see the light of day. These Zerglings are doing a good job of distracting these forces, though. Most of these Banelings are almost complete, and here we go. They're rolling on in. Not very far to go. The Hellbat goes down. The Marines go down. SCVs go down, and this third base once again is completely and utterly barren. Meanwhile, Hero Siege Tank is still Hero. 23 kills, but not really doing a lot, as the creep spread continues to move out through the middle of the map. Bunny recovering well, though. He's back up to 89 supply. He needs to get those SCVs churned out ASAP, and then he can simply be back in this game. Right now, we don't see the evolution in tech. It was constant Zergling and Baneling aggression. It looks like that isn't going to change in the short run. Petraeus is making more of them back home at this stage. But we really need to see more of the tech coming out. We have the macro hatch. It looks like he's just going to be going for another round of aggression. Is that the right move? Or should he have held back maybe and gone for the Spire and gone for the later game play? Because now it's Bunny who's being a little bit more aggressive. He's moving out onto creep now, lifting these medevacs, and he's actually going to say, well, you're not going to be mining here, so let me go ahead and take this base anyway. A good place to position his troops, because the siege tank is going to be in support behind it. This hatchery is more or less forfeit. And is Bunny going to be able to turn this around? Oh, this would be amazing. I'm really hoping Bunny can... Like, that would actually be a story in itself in this game. We've got Petraeus moving in for a counterattack, and we have a Widow Mine. Just the one Widow Mine by the looks of things. Defending here, and an awful lot of units coming in. Need to be careful about those Widow Mines. That Widow Mine is going to hit on all the Banelings! Okay, only managed to get one excellent splits from Petraeus, but also great splits from Bunny right now. And I don't think these Banelings are going to be able to take out all the Marines. Indeed, they aren't. It's going to be enough. GG! And Bunny holding against all odds, looking like he was dead halfway through that game. Holding on, using Hero Siege Tank in the offensive, able just about by the skin of his teeth to hold on back home. And wow, he takes the lead for the first time in this best of 9 series.